say thank you so much for checking out with me on my YouTube channel. I see some people are leaving, but it's okay. It's fine with me. I always like to say, listen, I never started none of my platforms, all of my platforms. I didn't start it for, I don't know what other people be trying to start it for, I guess fame or attention or something like that. I'm always good with one person rocking out with me. I'm always good with entertaining one soul, because I always believe if I can just hit that one person, then that one person can always get the message across, right? But for the most part, I believe that those who stay with me through everything, I always like to say, yo, I remember when I ain't have nobody. I remember when I was doing my YouTube channel, I didn't have nobody. I remember when I was doing my live, I ain't have nobody. So everything works out in divine timing. So I just want to touch on the video that I had shared on my shorts. Yo, a guy said underneath, you guys can go see. He said, "Women, we don't know alpha men," right? Now I had to give him an argumental argument because dealing with some women, if we are blessed to be in a household, and it doesn't necessarily mean because they have a big status quo sometimes, that some women how they perform, it all depends on being in a house with a father, right? And I believe sometimes it just depends on who's around them, like meaning a man, right? You could have an uncle, you could have a brother, you know what I mean? You could have a cousin, or you can have a stepfather, and so on and so on. And I told him, like, yo, what type of world you live in? Because I told him, excuse me, sir, I said, I know an alpha man, right? My brother is an alpha man, my grandfather, my uncles, and an alpha man is basically a man who knows how to what? Protect, lead. I can't do it. Protect, lead, and provide, right? And what made me so mad about the lady who's performing, the lady who's talking, right? Because I said some of the stuff I don't disagree with. I feel like some women, but you only get that with like educated women. And I don't mean to shoot a dart at anybody, but I feel like sometimes when you have a lot of successful women like that, um, what they're asking for or what they're demanding for is not really realistically like what you're asking for. Just like I'm fighting right now on social media very, very hard because I don't like when a lot of women, and it's only those like high profile or those really, really successful women say, I don't want a 9 to 5 man, or this, that, and the third. I want this type of a man. So you're telling me you'll overlook a good man? And now that we living in this time, a lot of women, because of the things that they're seeing on what television mean on television, on the reality TV shows, or the people that they follow, they're given a misconception that it's better for you to deal with an ignorant son of a bitch. Only why I say that is because I'm not perfect. I have the pleasure to date, men and whatever, and I have came to terms with that it doesn't matter, right? Because sometimes I fall on a different sector. It depends on who the guy is, who the man is, because just because he has money, it doesn't mean that he's going to perform and he's going to do what he need to do. And then you'll have a man that just he gets up, he's a hard working man, and he's a really good provider. He can take care of you, but because he's not at that pinnacle, and I think that's what be happening to sometimes. People be trying to track people's progress, and I don't like that, right? So they be mad at me, but I don't care about it. So I always say, yo, who are you following? And let's be for real, because you know what kills me? All of these girls want to go out to all of these fine establishments and fine restaurants, and they don't even know what the detail is, right? Some of these fine establishments, you can't even read the menu, but you're so focused on going there because you feel like um I have to, right? And you can just be a regular person. And I think right now, the scales are tipping because what people are saying is normal. And this is why I love the generation right now. And this is why I go so heavy on my Twitter account. Like, I be going in. Y'all don't know. But I be telling them right now, everybody are looking from out of a different glass, meaning their sunglasses. They're starting to see things. They're starting to identify. It's so funny because I was like, I love Bootsy. I do. I love Bootsy. But I had gave him a shout out on like on my Twitter account because Boosie was like, I don't want no old chick. They too fucking controlling. They want to tell you what to do. And I don't think that that's necessarily the case like that because I was arguing with them about how some of these guys are saying that they would prefer a different thing, or I be arguing with people because, and it's not necessary I'm arguing or I'm hating that men are going after young women. I just look at the mindset of why some men would prefer to deal with a younger woman is because some of them, because you do have some younger females who their mindset, they thinks a little bit differently because of the environment that they were placed in. And then I also say sometimes you have to think about how was that woman raised. Like for some, and it's so messed up because we live in an era now that the grandmas are no longer like 60 and shit like that. Like the grandmas are very, very young, so the system of preparing the new generation of women is really messed up because they don't know how to do the regular things. Like the lady Delicious, her husband, well, her ex-husband said that they had to split because she wasn't old fashioned. She didn't know how to submit. She didn't know how to be a wife. And you have to look at it, how was she raised, right? For myself, I was raised in an era. First, I have to give a shout out to a lot of Southern women, right? The Southern people from down south is a whole different momentum of being able to cook, being able to clean, being able to take care of a man, and different things like that. And when you are dealing with that, um people don't understand the two, right? So it's like you have a pretty face, but she don't know what to do. You have a pretty face. I was saying that shit before, right? Like, okay, it's okay to have a pretty face, but what can she do? Like, do she actually know how to clean the house? Do she actually know how to take care of the kids? Do she actually know how to, I don't know, wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, prepare her husband because she knows that he have to take care of things. So guess what, babe? Okay, we're gonna wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. What do you need? I know that, and listen, and at this particular time, you should already know your man like that. So you should already know what he like, what he needs to put in his bag, how he's going to do it. Hi, baby. How how he needs to organize and who was that? Who was that I see on there? The white something, the basketball player or whatever. She said that she was about to lose the love of her life because some women, some wives, what she said, they don't know how to shut up. Which, oh shit, I'll fall into line with that shit too. Because sometimes we don't know how to shut up, right? Sometimes a woman is supposed to be able to listen, not insert ourselves, but to actually listen. And men don't have that, right? So I go back to say, listen, because she said on the shorts that I'm playing, she said she needs a hybrid man, meaning a man that knows how to balance the two. See, I've been trying to talk to somebody about this, right? And I think that he thought that I was out of my mind, right? But when a man know how to balance his feminine side with his masculine side, that's letting me understand and letting me know that now I can disarm myself and I can let you take the lead. And a lot of women don't understand the difference between an alpha man and just a goofy. You heard what I said? This nigga just a goofy. He don't care about nothing. For I believe, see, whenever my husband go and God come and take him, I don't need to be with another man. You know why? Because during my time of us being together, he showed me how to survive. He showed me how to be the best hustler. He showed me how to do this, that, and the third. See, if a man, after you leave a man, if he haven't shown you the right way to go about it, to be able to live by yourself, then he's doing you an injustice, right? Because a man shouldn't always what's that word? Cripple, right? Cripple. You're not supposed to cripple me, but you're supposed to show me. So when a nigga said you ain't never been with no, you ain't never seen an alpha man, like, are you kidding me? My brother was the best protector. My brother was the best provider. My brother was the best person to lead. You know what I mean? So this is what happens, right? So now, since we know what an alpha man is, right, and this is why I come on all of my social media accounts and I be trying to tell my baby girls, first and foremost, you have to know your worth, because if you don't know your worth, that means then you will settle for anything. See, I'm a very hard target because since I have been around so much and I have been around money, right, you have to get to the point where some women cannot be bored, right? This is my number one rule. I never want to be with a nigga and I want to have in my closet sorry gifts, right? And you said, what is a sorry gift? A sorry gift is every time I go in my goddamn closet, I gotta look at my pocketbook, right? And my pocketbook, my shoes, my car, whatever you done got me, nigga, it's going to always remind me of February the 26th. Who birthdays in February 26th? Something amazing is going to happen for you. I don't know what it is. It's something that you have been working on in secrecy and a whole bunch of stuff, but something is going to shift, right? But that's what a sorry gift is. So if I'm not setting up, right, certain boundaries, right, or not even certain boundaries, because when the alpha man comes in your life, he's going to understand, right? And then I put that here on my notes because I did a whole bunch of notes and stuff right here, right? I always say, when we are first starting to entangle ourselves, meaning we're starting to mingle, and this is the number one rule, because I said this shit on Twitter too. I said, I see why all this stuff is going on. People don't like to be courted. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You like, what the fuck? No, I need to sit down with you, nigga, because I need to know, are you, are you, because this kitty cat right here, it's just amazingly, I can provide, I can cook, I can clean, I can be your rider, we can sit down, we could make the best business deals ever, but I need to first know, are you able, are you, is this honorable, nigga? Just like dudes gotta be like that, right? I was saying that before. I was like, yo, that's so nasty, right? I think the sexiest thing for a dude is for a dude to be able to say, nah. As well as women say, nah, everybody can't get this. A guy should be able to say the same thing. Nah, nah, nah. But because of the way that it is, and I always say that, especially regarding like, I have a big like quote thing within the industry right now, and only why I was saying the stuff about the girls and stuff like that is because, like, when you're working in, I guess you could say this profession, as we are starting to cross over, right? And we are building our presence, and however you want to position yourself, like if you want to cross over and you get the opportunity, because as much as you're grinding on your YouTube channels and on your platforms, like right here, I got 32,000, right? On my TikTok, I'm about to have 15. On my other YouTube account, I got 5. On my Instagram, I got 5. So you can do the numbers as you're shifting, right? Because you're supposed to think, this is what I'm doing, right? So if you're able to connect with the masses and draw people in, and only why people should be drawing in and people should be rocking with you is because they feel your energy, they feel your story. We can relate, right? Then you're going to have people who are going to start to reach out to deal with you because you have brand deals, you have this. So then what's going to happen? You're going to start to get invitations to be able to rub your arms around who? The high profile, the elect. So I always say, if you start to cross over into that sector, right, you cannot, and this is the most taboo thing, and this is why a lot of girls in the industry become washed up. You like, bitch, listen, because I feel like nobody should go public with nobody unless you are about to marry him. Listen to what I'm about to say. Damn, I'm about to help somebody. Let me tell you something. On Twitter, I always give PR information. And I've been telling these niggas I'm not helping them. Because I've been seeing a lot of good PR stuff that has been helping a lot of different artists and a lot of different shit. But what's going on right now in the industry, you see all the rappers and these people are trying to now position them and their girlfriend to the masses, right? And this is what people don't understand. And I'm about to tell y'all about to get the secret, right? If the people, you heard what I said? If the people do not love you, meaning does not, yeah, if they don't love you, then you will always get that. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Because even as an artist, right? And this, damn, I'm giving free PR. Because you have some artists that, do you know the importance of collaborating with an artist? You're collaborating with an artist, meaning whatever artist agreed to collaborate with you on your project is because I'm now using you because you have this amount of exposure, meaning how many people you have underneath your following. But it doesn't have anything to do with your following. It have everything to do with how the people perceive you. Do they love you? And because I am collaborating with you, I'm giving you exposure. Now, this is what I say to some artists. Fuck, I hate giving out free PR because these niggas, right? You have some people, and this is why, right? I'm the AI. People want to work with me, but I refuse not to. My job, because this is what I do, a lot of people don't know. I can tell within the first 24 hours how somebody's record is going to perform, how it's going to cut, if they need to go in and they need to change their whole image, right? I told these motherfuckers, y'all are very, very lucky, right? So sometimes it's better because you will see some artists perform better by themselves instead of collaborating with people because they forgot the number one rule is how the people are going to accept them. Are they love? Do they have that type of momentum? And this is what you're having, right? It's a big conception that rap died. Nah, rap ain't died. What these niggas in the United States of America need to worry about. If I got some rappers on here, if I got some rappers coming through, the people in the United Kingdom, they got some smoke. It's a whole different momentum. It's like a different shake. And this is how you gonna know I'm not lying. Because at one point, Afrobeat was not rocking like that in the United States of America, right? It's like every, I don't know, like a couple years or something like that, it switches where a different momentum of the different music because right, you have the Afro beats and you got Burna Boy. That's what see what happened to Burna Boy. That is an example for everybody to pay attention because these artists be forgetting if it's not for the people who listen to your music, because the people have the power. We as influential people, myself and other people, because y'all don't know, I push people shit out there for people to hear it. You know what I mean? So it's letting people understand, letting people vibe out with you. But when you turn on the fucking people and you forget who put you there, then the people is going to turn on you. And then it's the love factor. But let me get out of there because I gave too much motherfucking PR position. But this is what happens within the industry. You see it right now. People are trying to position their girlfriends because they want that effect. I believe that right now, you guys will always hear me say that moving forward, I'm on the movement of I want to see a dynamic because the cycle has changed. It's a new cycle, meaning new people have to come up to the plate, right? History is about to be done over again. What is history? History repeats. But are we as a people strong enough to be able to step in that place and have history repeat? So the era of new power couples, right, coming together, being able to impact and shape the world with the dynamic of their stories. That's what a power couple is. It's from my story, the things that I have done and the things that he have done. And now we are emerging our tribe together, and now we are loved because we are bringing something different. And this is what the people in the industry, meaning the niggas and the girls, are trying to do. They're trying to find that force, that power, right? And because the girls don't know better, they get tagged to different niggas, or the way that their team is positioning them, or they're positioning themselves, because they always forget the number one rule. They damage their image so much. So now, even if a nigga was good, right? Because you have to look at it too as well. He's not going to allow you to destroy his business, right? And she shouldn't allow you to destroy your business. So it's about your character, it's the way that you're moving. And if you are tagged to so many different people, I always say that it becomes tainted. So as you are performing and as you are starting to elevate yourself, and if you want to get into the industry, I always say, baby, do not go public unless you know that you and this nigga's gonna marry each other, because I just feel like it's very taboo. Right? So it says relationship, right? So it says on the beginning, it says, what's your type? A lot of people don't know what their type is. So this is why everybody is spread it out, because they don't know what their type is, right? So then it say two. So it says, no, three. So it's now you found out what your type. Now you have to ask yourself, what are you going to allow? I always say this, and then everybody gets mad at me. You heard what I said? Everybody gets mad at me. Everybody get mad at Felicia. Everybody get mad at Mary. And let me tell you why everybody get mad at us. It's because what Becky, oh, damn, I should never said that. Because what Becky is going to allow, I'm not going to allow. So guess what? This nigga gonna do me different. You know why? Because Becky allowed you to do a whole bunch of shit that I'm not gonna allow you to do, right? Because, and it's not like that, but it is, because if I'm holding myself up to a certain standard of whatever it is or however it goes, first and foremost, I think that is very, very sexy when a man wake up in the morning, he washes his face, but his conscience is clean. He don't gotta worry about going to sleep and like, fuck, damn. I gotta check my phone. I gotta worry about all these bitches calling me. Now I gotta hide this shit. But it's sexy when a man can wake up in the morning, wash his face, put his chest out, and he walking, because he knows when he lay down at night, he ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? He can actually kiss his wife and his kids in the mouth and walk with some type of a prideness, because he knows, as well as so is the man, because so he gotta ask, what am I going to allow? Like, bitch, that's why some dudes, when some girls, I'm gonna tell you the truth, that's why when some girls get with some dudes and that nigga be like, bitch, you crazy, and she be like, oh, like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, because you ran into a real nigga. What that last one did, I'm not gonna do. And I'm not going to allow. So that's where it comes to the point. What are you going to allow? And you have to establish this in the beginning. And a lot of people don't know how to do that, because first and foremost, they don't know their type. They don't know what the fuck they're going to allow within their world. And then once it becomes Ray J and Princess Love, once it becomes out of control, now I'm telling this nigga, you can't cheat no more. You can't. I don't want to have threesomes no more. I don't want to do this no more. But in the beginning, oh, I love you too, TikTok. Every time I go like that, that's somebody's hitting my page. Right? So now I'm telling you, I don't want to do this shit no more. I don't want to. He like, are you smoking something? You didn't say that from the beginning. You was in for this for the long haul. So how you going to tell me what you don't want to do, right? So this is why you have to establish this shit from the beginning, right? And I always like to say, damn, I'm saying this shit again. You have to, where are you catching her at? Damn. And where am I catching this nigga at? And a lot of people don't look at that. Especially of whatever sector of our lives we are in. I always say that, damn, I got to refer this back to the industry a little bit, right? Or whatever, right? Are you just now catching this like Blueface? Fuck that. What up, cuz? But listen, he just came home from jail. You have to understand this. If he haven't been with his lady and she have showed, what you mean shown, meaning she always came to the visits. She always had money on the books. She did this. She held down the house. She ain't have to do this. She have to do that. Then he's looking forward to come home to her. But when you have a dude who has been incarcerated and he has came home, I don't know why any woman would even want to pursue him or actually think that he is going to wife her. He have been behind the wall for 2 to 5 years. He's just now catching up on everything. I had to tell my brother this, so this is not funny. But my brother, he was incarcerated for 16 years, right? I'm a real one. I don't think I ain't gonna never find another YouTuber like this. He was locked up for 16 years. He just came home. He probably been home for about 2 years. He's doing very, very good. But when he came out home, he seen these girls. It was a little chick. She was like 16, but this bitch looked like she was 22. Wait. So he was like, oh, hey. So I said, brother, he said, what? I said, do you want to go to jail? He said, what you mean go to jail? I said, yo, that's a little ass girl. You got to be real careful. I don't know what's in the water nowadays, right? But a dude that's coming home incarcerated from jail, he been behind the wall for 2 to 5 years. I wouldn't even expect him. Like, if I was roll with you and this is that and the third, then yeah, nigga, I expect something. But if I was in and out, meaning I wasn't consistent, they all wasn't consistent, or however it was, why would you think that he would even be like that towards you or whatever like that? He's now coming out, he's seeing fresh meat. He need to explore his royal oats, right? So like I was saying, yo, relationships is crazy. It all depends on what we want, what you want from out of it. But I love that shorts that I'm playing, because being able to master everything, that means you have went through your own courses, you have went through the ups and downs of the relationship, and that's what makes some relationship great, right? Because, and I always keep talking about this, I keep saying that God is giving a whole bunch of guys a restart button, or he could be giving girls a whole bunch of restart button. A restart button is when you're now able to start a new relationship, a new foundation. And look, this is the big thing. This is where a lot of people get it wrong. The communication part. If you don't have communication, and that's what's wrong with some of us women too. Not wrong with me, but what's wrong with some women. They don't allow, or they don't create a real true safe space where he can be able to come in and he can tell me exactly what's wrong, or maybe they don't feel like it's safe enough. You know what I mean? So you have to know what's your type, what are you going to allow? Is this a safe spot for me and you, where we can be able to sit down and discuss everything that we need to be able to discuss? And what else did I put here? Do you know how? Uh-huh. Now this is crazy, and I'm gonna close it out because I think I've been on here too long. It says, do people know how to love correctly? Do you know how to love your partner correctly? Now it all goes back to, I can say it like this, right? I'm a very nice person. I'm very, very sweet. I have been betrayed a lot, but I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it as an A+ for me, because it lets me know how to move correctly. Where a lot of people fail at that is they put, because you heard what I said, because I have been done wrongly, right? I put everybody else in that spot, like they're going to do me wrong, like the last person who just left. And that's where a lot of people fell at, because guess what? Jimmy, Tommy, let's go over to the friendship. Mary, Susie, who, whatever. They have such a pure heart. They're going to love me right. They're going to give me that friendship that I need, right? But because I didn't at least understand and have more of an awareness, right, of just, hold on, they're not like this person, right? Then people will miss out on certain things. So I don't think people know how to love correctly, because to a certain extent it's because now people are more satisfied with more of the materialistic shit of the relationship, right? And I think love also comes from, like I said before, their backgrounding, meaning did they actually see within a household the real true definition of love. Like I always say, I come from the women in my family are married, you know what I mean? So they've been married to their husbands for a very, very long time. So when you be able to see that, you know what I mean, you understand the real true definition of marriage for, you know, I love that lady. She's so sweet. She's so sweet, because I agree with her fucking ass too. You know how to deal with certain things. I was thinking about the lady, the black lady right now. She's on Instagram. Very sweet lady. And she said, she said, I hope it never happens. She said, but if my husband cheats and he get another girl pregnant, she said, whoo, I hope it doesn't happen. But if God tells me to do it, then that's a little bit more. But through different marriages, you do have that some, right? And you do have some women who are strong enough to get over that hump. But only why they're strong enough to get over that hump is because, listen, And it don't even necessarily have to be that part. It could just be cheating or whatever. If you have came to that understanding and he has really understood by his actions, if he was to do something like that or whatever, then he's gonna lose his backbone. And I don't think a lot of men know or understand that their wife or whoever that is, she's her backbone. So why would I go and violate her? Why would I go and disrespect her like that? You know what I mean? And me as a woman, when I'm saying that I forgive you, that means not every fucking 5 to 10 minutes I'm gonna keep throwing up in your face how much you have cheated on me, how much you have done me wrong. If I said that I've forgiven you, that means that we're never gonna talk about it. This fucking conversation, this topic should never arise ever again. And that's why some marriages, they don't last. But also, I say too, like, people could be with each other for a very long time, and it's just out of whack, and then all of a sudden you could just talk to somebody and meet, and then everything start clicking and moving, and this, that, and the third. But I always say, before we do anything, did you pray? Did you ask God first? Because some of us be moving out of a lustful spirit, or because of whatever it is, or people could trauma bond is like when people first got together because of a trauma, something that have happened. So now I trauma bond. Oh shit, I can say this. I did that shit once. Oh man, I did that shit once. I started talking to this nigga. I gotta be honest. I started talking to this guy I ain't have no business talking to. No business. Once I started getting myself together and I actually looked at myself, I'm gonna be real. On all of my platforms, I'm real. I'm never gonna come up here and lie to you. I looked in the mirror, I looked at this nigga, I said, I'm so happy he was over the phone because I think he probably would have he was hot. He was like, "What's up?" I said, "This is not gonna work no more." He said, "What?" I said, and I was honest, like, "Yo, if I was da 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 da," he couldn't believe that I said that. But sometimes when you recognize and you understand that, hold on, if it wasn't for this circumstances or however, you wouldn't even be here. And you have to look at it like, who are you? So you'll rather listen to this. So you will rather crucify yourself on a cross to make somebody else happy, or you'll rather be happy because now you're living in your truth and you understand that it's just a little bit bigger. So relationships 101, I would definitely take a hybrid man, a man that have balanced the two, because right now, shouldn't no woman, I feel like, that always have to be like in a fighting spirit. A woman should be, at this particular time, they should be able to be relaxed, being able to be a woman, being able to accomplish so much underneath a good leadership, which is her husband, right? Because God is first. I was going to say the woman come first. Only why I was going to say the woman come first is because I always say this: what type of a woman do you have? Is your woman a praying woman? Because right now we're in a season where we're fighting against the spirit. Niggas is getting attacked. So can you pray for me? Because that's our job. The woman prays in the spirit, and then the man comes and then he protects in the 3D, meaning in the realm, because it's a little bit more. So this is why I always say how, if you understand the power of the two, right? For the man, he stands in the front and a woman stands in the back. The only way anybody's empire could ever be penetrated is if the woman is soft, because that's the only way they're going to get into the kingdom, through her, right? Through her, right? And you see it a lot, right? So let me go. This was very, very interesting. I didn't go over a whole bunch of stuff because I really didn't think that I had to. I just appreciate all of y'all. I hope that all of y'all vibed out, y'all can understand it. I was just on my other YouTube channel. I have another YouTube channel called Majesty Angel, and I did a live because I like to keep my promises. I'm not even really supposed to be up here. Well, it is. I wanted to come up here just a little fancy, but it is what it is. I love people to rock out with me like how I am. Like, I ain't trying to sugarcoat shit. It is what it is. But when it's time for me to really put my shit on and go outside and look like $1,000,000 and click, click, clack, and network and do what I need to do, that's a whole different creature. But I was telling them, because as the new year is coming on, and a lot of podcasters, YouTubers, or whoever, I messed up. I always say that I messed up a whole bunch of stuff on TikTok. I don't know if you guys seen a girl who said, "Y'all non niche creators need to make up your mind." And I had to put up there, I said, yo, I got over like 12 million views. Well, actually, on here, I got about 18 million views all together with all the videos that I have on my YouTube channel. And I said, yo, I got all of that being a non-niche content creator. I love a non-niche content creator. You know why? Because that let me know you live outside of the box. You're not following suit. Everybody looks like clowns. Everybody is following everybody. Everybody, and it's not enough people that's bold enough to do their own thing, to look different. You know what I mean? To be different. Everybody wants to be alike, right? But that's to each his own, because I don't want to be too judgmental. So me, on all of my social media accounts, I always, promote people to be different. I understand that not everybody's gonna like that. Not everybody's gonna do that. And just because I don't like that, and I'm not shooting at all. I'm not shooting. I live in New York City. Everybody out here in New York City got that jacket with the little puffy and that little thing. Everybody, everybody got that jacket. Now, are you saying, oh, because you can't afford it? I can afford that jacket. I just don't want to be in New York City and I'm around the whole 5 boroughs that got that jacket. You know what I mean? I always been like that. I'd rather have something else. So while everybody is looking the same, guess who gonna be getting that attention? Me, somebody else, because we don't got that. And guess what? The same coat that they paid $500 to $600 to $700 on, I just got the same shit on. It's just a different name, a different flavor, and a different style. So, on the next, I love y'all guys. Stay up. Do what y'all need to do. Always have an open mind, and always pay attention. And I always say that you can do and you can be, and have a good understanding relationship. Find somebody who really understands you. Let it be some type of I was going to say boundaries. The boundaries mean a lot of people are not free enough, because a lot of people don't give their partners that freedom, meaning that freedom to be able to create, that freedom to be able to just chill with their boys, or probably do this without being harassed and all of that other stuff. So let me go. Let me see what somebody said down here. It says, what's up, goddess? Oh, hi. How you know I'm a goddess? I don't want to read nobody. I be doing channeling message. Like, I do like cards and stuff, but I don't do tarot cards. I read people energies. That's why I don't let people touch me. That's why I don't touch them. That's why I don't go to stores. That's why I don't be around people, because I see people for who they are. As much as people, Ecclesiastics, everybody should have read Ecclesiastics, for God see everything that happens underneath the sun. And when you are dealing with people who are majority on their hands and knees, they're praying, they're meditating, they're eating healthy, they're in a good space, and they're doing what they need to do, we can see a lot of different things. But some people can see a lot of different things that a lot of people can't see, right? And I'm just in the season, I'm not doing none of that. So you guys, be blessed. This was a blessing. Until next time, bye bye.